Now, power is integral to any building, any business, but what happens in an emergency? What happens when there's a fire and perhaps the power switch is off? Well, here to find out and tell us a little bit more is John Robb from Eaton. Now, can you tell us a little bit more about what you guys do in an emergency? You know, how are you still supplying power to these businesses?
Okay, thanks Nikki. So first and foremost, Eaton are a power management company, provide a wide range of electrical, hydraulic and mechanical power solutions, but specifically around the show, what we want to talk about is our life safety systems, specifically with what happens in an emergency in a building. So on the stand we have a number of solutions around identifying fire, so fire detection systems, and then in the event of a fire, how do we evacuate people safely from a building by use of emergency lighting systems. So the whole idea is that in the event of a power failure within the building, the emergency lighting system will take over and will illuminate safe exit routes and also provide a general lighting within the building to prevent people from feeling a little bit panicked, which you would. So that's very much what we provide. We have a complete range of solutions in those areas.
Yes, because I mean, it's obviously going to be panicked enough if there's a fire going on, but not being able to see and being in pitch black would be a complete nightmare. So obviously being able to provide power and things like lighting, as you just mentioned, in times of an emergency is so important. And I think behind you've got a bit of a demonstration that you could perhaps show us.
Yeah, indeedy. So over here we have a range of our products. We also manufacture general mains lighting products for buildings. Some of these products are also adapted for emergency lighting applications. So in the event of a power failure, they will stay illuminated, and that will either be through a battery pack that's part of the light fitting, or we also have an alternative solution which is called a central battery system, where a large central battery drives a number of luminaires in the event of a power failure. So if I over here and just set the demonstration.
Yeah, absolutely. So with this kind of lighting solution, does it matter about the size of the business or the building, or is this a sort of one-stop shop? You know, you can make it fit to any size building, a single room or a huge office block.
So
there we are. Okay.
See, a number of them have stayed on, and these are the ones that have been adapted specifically for an emergency lighting application. So some of them are standard mains fittings that serve a dual purpose, so they will also provide emergency. The two fittings over here are specifically developed for an emergency application to illuminate escape routes.
And as you said earlier, so they can either come back to the mains board or they can be individually chosen. So if there are any problems, it's quite easy to maintain, I assume.
Indeed. So again, to your question, of the size of the building, emergency lighting is a mandated requirement in all commercial buildings. The solutions that we provide will be scalable to the size of the building that you're looking at. So for example, maybe for a small retail outlet, we would provide what we call self-contained emergency luminaires, which are self-powered, so each one carries its own battery. As you go into larger buildings, then it becomes more economic to have a central battery system to make sure that you've got the critical power in the event of a mains power failure.
And being part of this industry and working, I suppose, with lots of new technologically advanced buildings, how are you seeing the industry change at the moment?
So I think the adaptation of new technology, so as an example, one of the things that is mandated is the regular testing of emergency luminaires. It's not a fit and forget product. So we have a system that we're launching at the show today called CG Line Plus. This system runs automated testing of emergency luminaires, so every month it will simulate a power failure, check that the luminaire still operates. Every year it will switch the luminaire off for 3 hours to make sure the battery is capable of keep the luminaire lit for 3 hours, which again is a mandated regulation. But more than that, it monitors all of the luminaires in real time, so if any of one of them should fail, either via email or SMS text, it will send the maintenance or the safety manager of the building an alert to say that it has an emergency luminaire that is now no longer working. So we're using new technology to make sure that we're keeping building owners bang up to date.
Well, John Rob, thank you so much for telling us all about Eaton's latest products and a great demonstration of the emergency lighting, which hopefully we won't have to use here in this building today.
Thanks, Nikki.
Thanks very much.